overactive.
You know,
lunch hour.
an hour with us will make sure that he'll never get into television ever again.
And it'll guarantee that he goes back to school because it'll be a lot more entertaining.
He's going to wish he didn't hit his head after this hour.
Well, we hope the hour goes faster for you than it will for Charlie on our show. Lots to get into. Of course, the Edmonton Oilers take a commanding 3-1 series lead in Game 4. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in Jason Gregor, host of the Jason Gregor Show on Sportsnet 1440 in Edmonton. Of course, it comes with a price, and that is Zach Hyman out. And before we get started, just a reminder, Real Kipper and Born, brought to you by Bet365. Good to go, Sammy?
Great job, buddy.
All right.
You guys, by the way, we're just going to start the show and not mention that you guys are dressed identically.
Did you not get the memo of
No.
Real Kipper and Born hoodie day?
You know, I wore mine on the weekend, so it wasn't clean today. Otherwise, I definitely would.
It was just a little, didn't feel like doing, a nice outfit today. So I put on the old hoodie. And
Well, how dare you slander that shirt?
I'm joking. But when I saw him walk in, I was like, oh, here we go.
There we go.
Outside of the Edmonton Oilers
Yes.
being one game away from returning to the Stanley Cup final,
Yes.
lots of concern about Zach Hyman, who left the game midway through the first period with a collision with Mason Marchment.
Yeah.
It was deemed not great at the end of the game, but word came officially from the Edmonton Oilers, head coach Knobloch, that he will be out and heading to surgery
Here we go.
today.
Yeah. You know, these two guys, I believe, were teammates of the Marlies back in the day, know each other well. So I don't think it's it's just a fluke, unfortunate incident. Guy trying to throw a hard hit and wrist kind of gets tangled up. He's had surgery. He will miss the remainder of the season. Feels like he knew immediately.
Clipped him. Just a clip.
Yeah.
Jammed him up probably when he was trying to get out of the way, made the contact and pushed in on the hand a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
Tough to know exactly, but that there without him is significant.
This is their best overall power forward.
Yeah, it is. I mean, a year ago, he scored 70 goals between regular season and playoffs. You know, this year, the stat I like the most, Michael Amato writes for us here at Sportsnet, tweeted that he has 111 hits in playoffs. His career high in a full regular season is 117. This guy has been laying it on the line for them. And if
laying
you
it
go
on the
up
line,
against-
you say?
Oh, yeah, Rogers, what's up? And if you go up against Florida, like your most physical, consistently physical forward, that's a massive blow.
Yeah, that does shift my I think the Oilers are good enough to beat they got to get through Dallas first, but if they end up beating Florida in the final, I think they're good enough to beat them without Hyman. But I think that does change my thought on how it could go. Like, that is a big time blow for them.
It's a big time blow for us, and I'm not writing off Dallas or Carolina for that matter, but I was really,
I'll write off
really
Carolina.
looking forward to
Best on best.
power on power, and Hyman was a big part of that, to go face the Bennetts and the Kachuks of the world here, and again, who's coming out of the bullpen?
Yeah.
Jeff Skinner.
Jeff Skinner.
Arvidsson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arvidsson was in last night
Yeah.
because Ekholm couldn't go.
But he's going to step up. His role will be elevated now, and
For sure.
Skinner coming in.
You know, it's interesting. It's going to put quite the spotlight on the offseason work they did in choosing Arvidsson and Skinner as the guys to go out and get.
Mhm.
You know, when they lost Holloway and McLeod and guys like that. So we'll see how that goes. The they can't be without Ekholm and Hyman. They got through last night. They looked great, beyond great last night. But
I did not think I could ever see the Edmonton Oilers team as is without Ekholm. I cannot write them off now just because Hyman's gone.
I know. I was talking to Billy Duke upstairs, big Oilers fan, follows it close, and he said that Oilers fans, he's pretty close to the community there, when Ekholm comes back, they don't even want to break up the D pair. They want to go 11-7. That's how much they've liked. He called Stetcher the nurse whisperer.
Yeah.
They love what's happening with these pairs, and the guys. Wallman's been great. Klingberg's been very good.
You can't find a guy.
Think of those names that you were saying.
You can't find a guy that's struggling. You can't find
Kulak's
a guy
been great.
who does not stand out. They've all been stars in their own right. Look at Nugent Hopkins and what he has been able to do down the stretch here. He's as good as anybody.
That play he makes to Perry last night.
Did you see the stat I put in the lineup there? Players with multiple points in 4 straight games to begin a conference final. Wayne Gretzky, Cam Neely, Craig Janney, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
God.
Yeah.
You know,
Good.
yeah. So they got their best guys at their best.
Yeah.
And the D are playing extremely well. It's crazy watching this Dallas team. Dallas finished third in the regular season in goals per game. Then they added Mikko Rantanen with a month ago in the season. And over 3 games against that Oilers D core, minus Ekholm, they've scored twice.
Okay. Let's bring in the expert. The guy that can follow up everything we just talked about and add to it better than most right now. Jason Gregor. He hosts his own show on 1440 in Edmonton. Thanks for joining us, Jason. Let's just start with, twofold. You're loving the fact that the Oilers are a game away from a Stanley Cup final, but how much of a damper and a concern is the Zach Hyman news on top of a commanding 3-1 lead?
Yeah, it definitely put a little bit of a sour taste from the players in the victory last night. They obviously knew it was serious last night after the game, and comes out today, it's official, he's done for the playoffs. And it's a huge blow. Like, Zach Hyman might be, one of the best. If he's not the best, he's definitely top 3 or 4 forecheckers in the NHL. He does a lot of things to disrupt the opposition. He can score goals. The guy's been a hitting machine this year in the playoffs, 111 hits already. He kills penalties. He does everything. So it will be a big loss. But, the Edmonton Oilers have 8 forwards with 4 more goals in the playoffs. They've got 18 skaters with a goal. They're getting depth production everywhere. And this just means, Trent Frederick, Evander Kane, big physical guys who I think can fill the physical void. Kasperi Kapanen's played really well, good skater, very physical actually in the playoffs. He's had some huge hits. So I think they have enough guys to do it. And now they'll bring in Jeff Skinner, who, has been sitting there. He's only ever played 1 NHL playoff game, and that was game 1 against the Kings, and the Oilers played like absolute garbage. So he'll probably be like, oh, that wasn't very fun, but I think it'll be better than that. And then you throw in Matthias Ekholm, who I think there's a very good chance he'll play tomorrow in Dallas. He has been begging to play, and I think they've been ultra cautious with him. And so, you bring him back, but where do they play him? Like, I don't know if you want to split up the Klingberg-Wallman pair, and I guess you could split up Bouchard and Kulak, but I don't know if you want to play Ekholm all the minutes right away. And, Darnell Nurse and Stetcher have been really good. Like, the Oilers team defense, it's crazy. As much as there's a focus on their offense, as it should be when you got McDavid and Draisaitl, the Oilers have shut down Vegas and Dallas, the 2 best teams in the NHL off the rush this year in the regular season. Vegas had 3 goals in that series, and Dallas has 1. Like, they've shut them right down 5-on-5.
So to what do you attribute that to? Because from the outside, when you look at the Oilers D core going to playoffs, it's like, okay, they got McDavid and Draisaitl.